Hey, it's Coach C. Welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. This is your first time. Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. Like I said before, I'm Coach D, and I want to help you to reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. This month is Credit Awareness Month, so we'll continue talking about credit. Today, we're going to go into the 5 factors that create your credit score too. Hey, thank you for tuning in. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So grab a pen if you don't have one, or you can watch the replay. We are broadcasting on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. At the end of this month, one of them will disappear. So if you where you're watching it, you don't see me next month, get over there to YouTube. I will be shifting it because I want to be places where people are actually watching, tuning in, commenting. YouTube, really everybody can come to YouTube. Eventually it's going to only be on YouTube, but right now I just want people to see it, learn about it. So definitely share with people who you think can benefit from it, who might know about it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Hey, thank you guys for hopping in. All right, so let's get right into it. So today we're talking about, what creates your credit score. So we're going to go down all 5 of them. So number 1 is new credit inquiries. Now that's 10% of your score. So that is basically when you're applying for stuff. Are you applying for a lot of stuff? When you run your credit report, sometimes they tell you to kind of keep it around 2 per 2-year period. So, if you have things going on, of course, if you got to apply for stuff, you have to apply for stuff. But, you want to keep it low. You don't want it to, when you run your credit, it shows you have applied for 10 things. That can kind of show like, you might be a little risky. Like you might have, like, why are you applying for so much? It would make someone wonder, does that mean, are you getting, denied for everything else? So you just keep applying, to kind of see where it works or who gives you something. Now, for things like mortgages, when you apply for them, they know 9 out of 10 you're not getting 10 houses. So if you apply for, a couple different mortgages in a shorter period of time, that won't affect your credit. Whereas if you apply for a bunch of credit cards or a bunch of store cards, they know that, that's an opportunity for you to get all of those cards. So be mindful of that. That is 10% of your credit score. Hey, PA. All right. Next, we have types of credit. That also is 10% of your credit score. So, do you have all credit cards? Is that all the credit you have? Do you have installment loans? And those are the kind of loans that you'll like, kind of like a mortgage. You'll buy it, or you'll borrow it. You'll get the loan, pay it back, and eventually you can be paid off. Do you have revolving credit, which will be your credit card? So where you apply for it, you get the credit, the line of credit, you use it, you pay it back, you can use it again, you pay it back, you can use it again, like that. So do you show a variety? Do you show that you can handle all these different types of credit? Or do you have kind of like one thing that's all you have? So maybe they don't know really how you would do with something else. That one could be kind of risky if you don't have the other ones and you're trying to apply for that. So they're like, well, shoot, we don't know if this person can really handle it because they don't have any experience with it. So, if you don't have a little mix of different ones, consider that because that's 10% of your credit score. Hey, save me some. All right, number 3 is your length of history. How long have you had credit? And this could be credit cards, more likely credit cards, because when you get the installment, types of loans, those eventually are going to end. So really, they can't last you a long time. So you really will use credit cards that would show your length of history. Have you had credit for 5 years? Have you had it for 10 years? Have you had it for 20 years? Have you had it for 30 years? Like when you start getting up there and showing that you've had credit with one particular place for a long time, then that shows that you know what you're doing, you know how to handle it. They didn't get rid of you, they didn't close your account. So you're doing what you're supposed to do. So that's really good. That's really helpful. So, that's, how did I tell you how much that's what? 15%. I'm sorry. Hey, that's 15% of your score. I'm not sure if I said 15%, but if I did, said it again. But, just shows how you're doing it. How can you handle it? Can you keep it? Were you on track and then you fell off and then closed the card? Or did you continue with it? Are you someone who opens a card, close a card, open a card, close a card? That's not a good look either. So don't do that. Wait until, if you're done with the card, let them close it, not you. That way you give it time. And if you feel like you want to close a bunch of them, let them close gradually. Don't try to close them all at the same time because closing them will affect your credit score. Like, for instance, let's say you have, thank you so much. Let's say you have like this much credit. Guys know I use my hands all the time. So let's say you have this much credit, right? And this is, the bottom of it. And for instance, maybe you're using this much. So you're looking pretty good because you got all this available, right? Now, if you close a card, then it's like, okay, now you only have this much available. So you're closer to what your limits are. So it kind of looks like less likely that you can handle it because you're almost at the top, right? So be mindful of that, when you're closing cards, because that is actually affecting your total, which runs into our next one, which is utilization ratio. So that is how much? 30% of your credit score. So that's how much of your credit are you actually using. This is a big factor. The other ones was 10, 10, and 15. This one's 30%. This is showing, are you using your credit as soon as you get it? Are you using it, to the max? You get a limit for 500 and you run it up to 500. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Are you, oh, thank you so much. Are you someone who, as soon as you get the credit, you're using it, you got 500, and you use the whole 500, then they gave you an increase to 1,000, now you're up at 997, or they took you to 2,000, now you're at 1999. Like, are you someone who's doing like that? The second they give you more, you're using it. You can't control yourself. You can't keep yourself down lower. It's recommended to stay under 30%. Some people will even say 10% of your usage. But either way, you don't want to be up at the top. You having the credit is, really your key to kind of making your money work for you. But if you're not, working it the proper way and using it all up, you can't really, you know, do what you want to do with it and kind of maneuver it the right way. The best way to use it is to use it and pay it in full. Use it, pay it in full. And like I always tell you, if you have credit cards, get the ones that have the benefits, that have the miles, that have the cash back. Use these ones, and these ones typically have a higher interest rate, which makes it a little more risky because it's like a little challenge. So yes, you're going to get these rewards, but if you don't pay it back, you're going to pay all this in interest. And most times you're going to pay more in interest than you would in those rewards. So you need to be using it and paying it back, using it and paying it back. And if you can't pay it back as quickly as you would like to, don't use it as much because you're going to be kind of working backwards if you're using it and then paying it like a little bit, just a minimum, because you're paying interest on everything that's remaining. So if you get 100 miles, but then you're paying $50, in interest over the months, then, kind of it's really not a benefit for you. So just be mindful of that. Check it out, look at your cards, see what benefits it comes with. See how much you're paying in interest, kind of weigh your options and see, if you're someone who, you keep a balance, and, we don't want to, but sometimes it happens and it's a part of life. If you can't afford to pay it off in full, just be mindful of what you're doing. So don't use that card as much. See which card you have that has the smallest interest rate. Maybe that one doesn't have any rewards, but you're not going to be paying back as much in interest. So it won't hurt you in the long run. So be mindful of that. Check it out. We want to, really do what we can and make the best of it and use up and make those rewards and go on those trips for free. And because it is a lovely thing when you get to there, I, enjoy being able to take a flight for free because of my rewards. But I don't want to pay interest. You know what I mean? I don't want to pay interest on everything. So instead of paying for my flight, I'm paying for interest. That doesn't make sense. So just be mindful, check it out, look at what you have going on, and see what's best. And when you get to that point where you can afford to pay your credit cards off quicker and really, reap what you're trying to do as far as the benefits, something that's really good that I actually do with my credit cards, or I have one that have all my rewards now and my household bills. I'm going to pay them every month, right? So that bill is down to zero. Every month I pay my household bills on it, pay the credit card right back. So now every month, how much I'm paying on my household bills is going right on my credit card, and I'm getting all those miles every month. And then I'm paying it back for sure because I don't want to, have my credit limit high. But you're planning on paying those, but it's a part of your income that comes in. It's a part of your budget, right? So if you're able to, and you have a budget, you're able to stay on track, try something like that because that's a good way to help you to build up your rewards, depending on what type of card. But again, if you're the type of person that you're going to put your household expenses on there and not pay it back, like, oh, I got some extra money this month, or don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in that situation because now you have a whole month's worth of bills on your credit card, on top of whatever you had on the credit card, on top of any other credit cards you have, on top of any other debt you have. So don't, get yourself into a situation like that. So just be careful, be mindful, check it all out, and see what's best for you. The fifth and final thing that helps us to determine our credit score, which has the largest percentage, is 35%, and that is your payment history. Are you paying your bills on time? This is so, 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 so important. So important. Sometimes we feel like, I'm going to pay it, I'm going to pay it, I'm getting ready to pay it. It's only one day late. I'm about to get paid tomorrow, I'm going to pay it tomorrow. Pay your stuff on time is so important. It's so important, so important, so important. It's a major percentage of your credit score. Make it your business to pay your bills on time. So important. If you're not paying on time, then guess what? I'm not going to give you any more credit because you're not paying this on time. Or if you have a credit card and you're not paying on time, well, I'm not going to increase your limit because you're already not paying me back, what you were supposed to pay me back. How do I know one day you're not going to just decide to pay 1 week late? You're just going to say, I'm done with it. Do you have bankruptcy? Do you have accounts and collections? Do you have judgments against you? Like these type of things are not good for your credit and definitely will tank your credit because it's really showing you get credit, you get approved for it, but you don't pay them back. So now you're getting the credit and then they're like out there. Like of course the benefit for them is for you to pay the interest. But if you don't pay them anything back, they don't they don't get anything. They have no benefit. Then they have to go after you and they have to sue you and charge you court fees and charge you all this other stuff. It's not worth it. So if you can't do it, don't do it. Don't get that stuff. It's okay. Get credit when you can, or start off with one. Don't be the person that goes out, gets a million like I did when I first got started with credit, and I was out there applying for this one, that one, this one, that one. Start where you are. Be okay with one. Learn how to work that one. Learn how to manage that one. Then get a second one. Then get a third one. Do what you can. Be okay with what you can do. Don't try to keep up with someone else is doing because maybe they have a million cars, but you don't know what's going on with those million cars. Are they paying them back? You don't know. So it seems like they're really, handling it. Or they really could be handling it. Everybody's not bad, with their credit. So I don't want to make it seem like everybody's not good with it. But some people are, some people aren't. But just, go at your own pace. Just definitely try to pay on time. Yes, definitely pay it on time. That is very important to your credit score and for you to be able to get other things, to, get other types of credit and for you to get a good interest rate when you do get something. So when you do get that mortgage that you're not paying an astronomical amount in interest, or when you get that credit card, or when you get that auto loan, you're not paying triple what somebody else is paying because your credit score is better. So those were my tips. And since uh, payment history was the largest one on there, I definitely want to share with you. I do offer a done for you service, which is a bill schedule, which will be a 12-month schedule where I tell you which bills to pay and on what date to pay them. So if that's something you need or you can benefit from, I'll put the link in the comments so you can, learn more about it because you don't want to worry about what you're paying, when you're paying, and that helps you to balance out your bill so you're not paying $1 million on this check and have like $2 worth of bills on this check and then one check you're struggling and one check you're balling. Nope, let's even it out smoothly throughout each check. Let's make sure that everything is paid on time and you never have to wonder what's due. So that's one of my highest selling items because it's very beneficial for people because once you realize I never have to worry about what I'm paying. I know what I'm supposed to pay. So if that's something you could benefit from, check the link in the comments to learn more about it. If you have any questions, You can DM me privately. You can send me an email. You can comment. My website is enhancingyourfinances.com. I'm enhancing your finances everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. But I'll see you all next week. We get together every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern for another topic. Because this is Credit Awareness Month, next month we'll continue, or next week we'll continue with credit. So come back to learn more about credit. I'm not going to tell you what the topic is, but we'll be back. I love that it makes it easy for you. Yes, yes, and I know for a fact you have one. Great tips. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great info. You're welcome. This was great. Thank you, guys. You guys are so sweet. I'm glad you enjoyed it. This was intended to be helpful and some intended for you guys to learn. Intended for, sometimes we know things and we just need to hear a little more about it. Or sometimes we know some things, not all things. And I'm here to help. Like I said, I want to help you to truly enhance your finances. That's why my business is called that, Enhancing Your Finances. So, again, as always, if you have something you want to hear about or learn about, put it in the comments also, or DM me if you want to do it privately, and I'll put it, in my schedule and incorporate it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and spending time with me because you could be anywhere. So, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Happy budgeting, and I'll see you soon.